It had to be the right time for me to talk about the Gossamer Report and its co-founder, the Prince of Willows, Orion, young man that spent the last year of his life putting in the foundation for it. Ryan caught HIV from the first person he was ever with, and he died at the age of 25. But that last year, um, I would say to him, I'm like, why aren't you going and doing something that you enjoy? And he said, I'm enjoying this. It gives me a sense of purpose. And so he really did a lot of the work in networking. And, the last time that I talked to him, um, because he used to get on me about my dark melancholy, and he said, I really hope that you find the happiness in this life that I have found working with you. And then he added, just saying, which people know me, know that it's something that I always say. And it's my way of remembering him. Um, Over the years, we lost Prince Xander, my cousin, Lord Vikingheart, my veteran friend who died in Nairobi, Kenya. And these were people that really helped with the foundation of what we were doing. Um, Xander was a money man, and so was Vikingheart. And it's just something that I randomly will ask people for. It's more about supplies and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of the stuff that we did early on, drum circles for at-risk kids, other events, etc., as a result of their hard work. And what I'm trying to do in the future, with the future, so people understand, I want to turn over to Little Hawk, Shay, a ship of state with cruise control, where he has a lot of help. And the way that I worked things before, when I really got the energy going, um, was, I worked through one or two artists, promoting them as I was opening the doors for others. Um, I have to wear the brand sometimes of ego and other things with people. And really, people are kind of surprised when they get to know me really well. Um, ego served its purpose, opening doors, big doors for people. And, that's something that I'm working on. As for the charge that a fellow shaman made one time, said, you're like the Mozart of shamanism. He said, you are very spiritual and holy, but you're also decadent, depraved, and I forget what else he said. Oh, and profane, of course. Um, you know, it's just me. Um, I got tired of seeing the hypocrisy out in the world and, the clergy and things that they did. And I'm like, I'm just going to do this myself. And it's like with the founding of the Gossamer Court, Ryan and I talked about it. And, what he's the one that came up with the definition, or an affiliation of a spiritually inspired artist devoted to healing through art. And we've really kept it that simple, although we are tree huggers and planters, so I guess that makes us political to a certain extent. But as I'm trying to get over a touch of pneumonia after all the bullshit that happened in September, um, I do look to the future with optimism about where we're going. Um, Part of my settling in West Virginia. There's no question about it. You know, Shea is a big part of that, but there's also Marshall University. It's a place where there's a lot of artistic energy. Um, and as we find a house to live in, that is going to be an important part of it. We still want to keep up that work. As a matter of fact, we want to build on it. You know, I mean, there's one thing that kills me. Somebody was talking about how easy Shea makes fire spinning look. He's self-taught, number one, and he's out there every day, working on it. And it's the same thing with me. I never stop. I mean, people's judgment of me in a traditional sense is flawed because I don't fit that particular, into that particular area. It's not what I'm about, but make no mistake, I'm constantly working. I have people that come and ask me for help with projects that they're doing. I have some that want to connect with other artists that I have worked with. I have people that call me that are in terrible shape, depressed, lonely, worried about life. And I always say when I have the time, um, I will sit there like I did on the porch the other night, um, for like an hour and a half, um, talking to one person, and then the next night somebody else just happened to call. And, I mean, there is no question about it. My experience in life has granted me a certain amount of wisdom, and I think that for the wise, the most selfish thing that they can do is to keep it to themselves. Now, I'll grant you there are people that really would like me to shut the fuck up. That's not happening. I'll temper it a little bit, but I've got to be me. And it's like with what I continue to try to put together. I mean, that works well for me alone. I can be me very easily. But when it comes to the Gossamer Court, I'll grant you, since the flatline heart attack in 2006, I have been a bit out of commission. And, I've started to apply my own message of healing through art. And people who get concerned about all the work that I've been doing of late, listen, this is my passion. It's like Dick Shawn died on stage in California. He was the guy that played LSD in, what was it, The Producers. He was a hysterical man, but just, I was like, good for him. He went out doing what he did, and that's the best way to do it, or in your sleep. But I have enough knowledge of the way things work in the universe. I have enough faith in my creators um, to know that with some effort on my part, which continues, my work will also continue, and I will continue and keep things going for a while. But, as far as the Gossamer Court goes, it's not something I can do alone. I have people that, offer to help, and some do, and some don't. As a matter of fact, there are more of the some don'ts. And, I mean, the beautiful thing in New York is it's a city full of some do's and some don'ts, but there are a lot of them. And how I was able to pull off Ecstatic Voices for Alex Gray, co-create for Cosmfire with Amani, do some of the work that I did at the, Fusion Arts Gallery and Museum, and, other things that I certainly did, and, continue to do my performance art. It was because I had a great pool to draw from. And on a lesser level, I see this with Huntington, West Virginia. I really do. Um, it's It's going to be tricky.